Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. My name is Ashley Lanese and I blend motivation with spirituality so that you can get the best benefit out of it. Today's video is on why you should have tough conversations with people even when they're not ready to hear it. The reason why you should have these tough conversations with people is because it will help them evolve eventually. Let's get started. So before I studied charisma, I was one of those people who would just kind of agree with people and not really say anything when I felt like I really needed to say it, like I would hold back. And what I want this video to relay is that when you hold back from thinking about saying something super genuine from your heart that this person needs to know and they might not be ready to hear, when you hold back and it's something that comes from the core root of your heart. I'm not talking about like telling somebody off fully when it comes from this intent of wanting to hurt them. Not that. I'm not advocating for that. What I'm advocating for is sometimes people need to hear things. Sometimes you have a duty to tell somebody something to help them learn, to help them grow, and to help them evolve. Sometimes though, you're not always going to stay in that person's life either long enough for them to know what they got going on, or sometimes we're worried about having these tough conversations because we're gonna lose somebody. So the point of this video is to tell you that sometimes we avoid the conversations that we're meant to have with people. And when we do that, we allow them to continue behaviors that we don't like, behaviors that are affecting us if there's someone in our family. And when we do that, we stop our own evolution and we stop the evolution of them. So for example, let's say somebody in your life is going down the wrong path and you have a couple options. Like you can just do nothing. You can let them try to figure it out. You can tell them. So my advice to you is if you feel from the core of your heart like you should tell this person and you don't know how to tell them, like maybe this person's in a super defensive state, maybe they're in a super negative state, maybe they're just not ready to hear it and you know that, I want to tell you, do it anyway. Tell them, speak from your heart. That's key because it can be kind of a challenge to, tell somebody something. So as long as you're speaking from your heart, that is the place that you should come from. And the reason why you should tell people things, what they need to hear, even when they're not ready to hear it, is because of a quote that I've mentioned before, but this video is going to be fully dedicated to this quote because I've learned so much from it. But the first half of the saying is something you already know, which is you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink, right? A lot of people think, oh, I can lead someone to something, but why should I even tell them if they're not even going to drink the water, However, the end of this saying that I learned and I live by, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink. But when they're thirsty, they know where the water is. Sometimes it takes people a while to figure out things. I am a firm believer, and if you feel like you should tell somebody something, tell them. Try to say it in the best way possible. You can use charismatic tips like pacing and leading, and you can do things and practice self-confidence and have empathy and come from a place of genuine heart-powered energy. But when you tell somebody something, and you feel called to by the universe to actually speak up, to say, hey, I don't like when you're doing this. When you feel like you need to give them a warning and you need to tell them like, hey, you need to get it together. And you know it's going to affect them. Listen, I know it's easy for people to be like, oh my goodness, I told that person that thing and now they hate me, now they don't like me, now they don't want to be my friend, now they're mad at me. Sometimes you gotta make people a little mad at you because they're not mad at you. They're actually more so mad at what you said because it's doing something on the inside. And this has happened to me. People have told me things. I used to be super stubborn. If you were to come up to me and be like, you're super stubborn, I'd be like, no, I'm not. And why? Why do people get defensive? People get defensive because there's something actually going on there. They gotta dive deep. They gotta be like, when they're looking out the car window, driving to work or whatever, and they gotta be like, man, am I really defensive? It's what you think when you lay your head down on that pillow at night. You're doing it, you're telling people these things from a good, genuine place, because I'm not advocating for any negative, mean energy. When you feel called to universally tell somebody a lesson or something, when they lay their head on the pillow at night, only then will they be able to grapple with this concept. I want to explain that there was a person in my life who we got along great. And we were both super spiritual, so that's why we got along, but we clashed when it came to our morals and when it came to the black and white and the gray areas of the universe. And ultimately, we stopped being friends, we stopped talking, and the reason why was because of our clashing. But you know what? He said things to me that I was like, you're wrong. I had heavy pushback against what he said to me. And I said things to him that he had heavy pushback also. But I am so proud of both of us for having said the things, because I know this person. He was coming from a genuine place. I was coming from a genuine place. We were there to teach one another. And I have spoken to him recently, and he has helped me evolve so much because I was kind of a little bit too positive of a person back then. I was kind of playing into toxic positivity and things like that. And he showed me how to not be toxically positive. And it took some time actually, because when you first start your spiritual journey, you just want to be positive, everything's positive, all this, that, the third. But the yin and yang of the universe is a real thing. And so I am so thankful that the universe brought that person into my life. And I'm thankful for the things that I said to this person as well, because I helped him evolve, and he has came to me and been like, you know what, I really didn't understand what you were trying to tell me. But as life moved by, as I remembered those conversations, I learned and evolved from those conversations. It takes some time for people to learn things. I would advocate not to wait for people to get there for you to deliver the thing that you need to deliver, because how are they going to learn that? I'm a writer. I'm writing a mermaid series. If you watch my channel, you already know that. There is a plot point. So when you study plot and how to write a story, the first 10% or so of the book, you need to put in what is called the theme stated. And the theme stated is where another character, usually, it doesn't have to be another character, but most of the time it is, another character can come up to your character, or does come up to your character and says the theme, literally the theme of the book. Like, you put the theme of the book in the book somewhere in the beginning, and then the character then learns the theme eventually. And when you study this, when you read the book, Saves the Cat Writes a Novel, which is incredible, and you can watch my videos on writing if you want to know more about that, but the character is supposed to have heavy pushback against this theme. Like, let's say this character is stubborn, and some random person that they don't trust, usually comes in the form of someone you don't trust if you're writing a book, but someone comes along and they're like, you're never going to learn how to love yourself until you stop being stubborn. Some random statement. And the character's supposed to be like, you don't know anything about me, yada, yada, yada. Like, they get the more tension you create during this moment, the better the book's gonna be. Because the character, sometimes we have to go through the journey to learn the lesson. There are signs along the way that are trying to get this lesson out. So when you've upset somebody because you've spoken from your heart, you've told them, oh my goodness, I see the theme they're about to learn. I need to warn this person. I advocate for you warning this person, for you going out there, for you taking that risk, for you warning them and failing. Even do it if you know you're going to fail. If you know they're not even going to listen to you, do it. Because they need to hear it, and you could save them pain, you could save them time, you can save them anguish. You can lead a horse to water, you can't make that horse drink, but when they get thirsty, when they need this information, they know where the water is. I've had so many people who I have stood up to them, because you can't get everyone to like you. So someone has said something to me, because I talk to tons of people. Like, I am an ENTP, I'm an extrovert, I love people. But if somebody says something and I don't agree, I had to learn through really owning my extroverted nature and growing on the internet and everything like that. I had to learn, I can't just be a people pleaser. I can't just agree with something somebody says. What am I gonna do when someone's morals are wrong and I have to tell them, I have a duty to tell them, that's not right. You shouldn't believe that. Especially when it has to do with hurting another person, don't be making jokes like that to me. I'm not going to agree with you. I can't. I have a duty to tell you that that's wrong. That doesn't mean you're wrong. Don't take it personal. Your opinion and your belief is the thing that I don't like. And I'm trying to help you as a person evolve. I'm not trying to put blame on you. Trying to help you and guide you into a new direction so that the universe can give you more blessings. So I've ran into situations where people have thought I was going to agree with some stuff that I did not agree with. And I had to question and go inward and be like, listen, Ashley, like, what are we gonna do? And I find it my duty to tell people when they're wrong, to help them. And that breeds environment for a lot of tension. And I try to be as kind and gentle-hearted as possible with this, but you know, sometimes you hurt people's feelings, and I'm not gonna say that it doesn't sting, that it doesn't hurt, that it's not like, oh damn, you know? But I have had plenty of people come back to me and say, you know what, Ashley, I get where you were coming from. I get what you were trying to say. And if I did the delivery the wrong way, if I was mean, I mean, I read the book Ego is the Enemy, and it talked about how leaders apologize and just how you should apologize for things. And so I say sorry, and you know, I didn't want to hurt your feelings. That wasn't my intention. As long as you're coming from a place of kindness in your heart, and you know that, you have that intention, and even if the other person doesn't see it, only you can truly know where you're coming from. But as long as you have that with yourself, I think that you should have the conversation with people, because you're going to help them evolve, you're going to help them grow, and they're going to look into that pool of water that you laid out for them, and they're going to see the reflection of what you were saying bouncing off of their eyes, and they're going to drink that water, and they're going to know, and they're going to gain, and they're going to learn something from it. And so that is all that I have for you guys today. If you liked this video and gained anything from it, please give it a like so more people can find it. Subscribe to this channel if you like content like this. Thank you so much for watching this video all the way until the end, and I'll see you guys in the next one.